what is your background for your idea that normally choreographers and dancers think only about body? We have to make a link to the evolution of sculpture, because sculpture until 1900 was always only about bodies of animals, bodies of people. But only after 1900 people realized sculptures are standing in space, but the space is not the subject of sculpture. So you have a body of people, of animals, so the sculpture is here, but the space which surrounds the sculpture was not subject. Therefore, the first time, around 1920, sculpture said, no, the subject must be space. And I think you did a similar revolution 50 years later, because suddenly you realized the body is part of the space, which is environment. Normally, when dancers, they're only thinking on the movement of the body. Yes. All the famous choreographers. And nobody cares about the space around it. So I think what you discovered was that the body is part of space. That means, and space is a kind of grid. A grid of space itself has three coordinates, which we call in mathematics analytic geometry. Geometry means you have the space, and with analysis, with arithmetic, you can give pointer numbers, what you did in your drawings.
Yes.
So realize suddenly, okay, I can mathematicize the movement of bodies in space. And then comes another dimension, number 4, time. So the first time, I think this is your unique achievement, to realize we don't need a notation of the movement of a body. We need a mathematical notation for the movement of body in space. So my question is, what was your background? Maybe your father, maybe whatever, that you realized we have to think about the body in space. And what you did, in fact, the mathematization was, you had numbers, you said, okay, if my hand is here, and this is the space, I can say, okay, X, Y, Z. So every position of my body part can be mathematical. What was your background? Where did you come up with this revolutionary idea?
My background was Schlemmer.
What?
Oscar Schlemmer.
Again?
Oscar Schlemmer from Bauhaus.
Okay, Oscar Schlemmer. Okay.
Yes. And Rudolf Laban.
Laban.
The two German. And I love mathematics.
Okay.
I think
Independent from dancing.
Yes, I love. And when I was young, I learned mathematics, and I was experimenting with my body because I want to understand the space. I was in a room, and I was, that's vertical, that's horizontal. I was learning. And when I watched Triadic Ballet by Schlemmer, I was 9 years old. I felt in love. I saw, and I was young and alone in the room. I imitate the movements. I imitate what he was doing. And then I saw the space. I said, that's very important, because my father, he was an artist, but my father, he was very intellectual. He was not dancing. My father was not a performer. He was just mind. And I had that body. I need to move. And when I saw Schlemmer, I said, that's it. It's him. He was my inspiration. He is my inspiration till now. The only thing I did that he did not do is the kind of movement. I really decided to do a movement of mathematical movement of the body. So horizontal, vertical, how you do this kind of, and then with technology, the young people, they were doing break dance. You know what's this? So they today they talk
Yeah.
in mathematical way. But Peter, we are mathematical. I think we are just discovering mathematics, but mathematics is all in everything we do. Don't you agree?
Yeah. So I see precisely when you made these movements like this and this, you repeat what is called in the analytic geometry coordinates. We have verticals, we have horizontals. So to describe a space precisely, you have a triangle, you have two horizontals and one vertical. So you see that you, when you developed the movements of body, you started to inscribe the space into the body.
Exactly.
That's interesting, because normally people have a kind of old-fashioned expressivity. They think I must express something.
Yeah.
You're just the opposite. But I like very much.
Yeah. I had a friend. She was ballerina of Bejar, and she said to me, "You look like a machine dancing." And I said to her, "You are gonna melt." So many sentiments you have. So we are just the opposite, and we became friends.
Okay, we became friends.
Yes.
So I think the difference and really
the expression, the
Yeah.
expression comes from the space.
Exactly, that's the point. Normally, in a classical dance, expression comes what they think, the fiction of internal states. Let's say it. Normally, in classical ballet, it's an expression of internal states, soul, emotion, whatever. But this is a fiction. There is much more objective truth to say, here, my emotions are in fact nothing else as part of the space.
Yes.
And now comes the next point I would like to ask. There are some people who say, when you describe the space with three coordinates, it's a grid. And this grid, as we have x, y, z, this you could experience them like bars of a prison. So space, room, described mathematically, for some people, is a description of a prison consisting of three bars, x, y, z.
Yes.
And then you can say, okay, what I do, with all your work, when you analyze the situation, that the idea is to even to go beyond space, to liberate the body from the prison of space. This is my question.
Because I feel that when I, for example, I go to meditate. For me, the center is a vertical.
Okay.
If I am standing up, it's a vertical. If I'm lying down, it's a vertical. It's horizontal. For me, I see, I feel this. So if I am not absolutely balanced, I am off vertical. Then begins the game with the three coordinates. You are here, and then you begin, and then you are more x, and we are. And then what? Then you feel. You create a volume in space, and this volume is like words. You say words, I create volumes. It's exactly like this. This is a language. This is a code. I don't have to write like lab annotation. I don't have to write a symbol to say front. No. Front is just something that is a plane. You go in the line of X. You don't displace on. You just go two coordinates. The third one stays. So that's exactly how you walk forward. For example, I'm going to give you how I describe a square. I'm here. How I describe a square with my body. This is a square. Look, did you see it? I am this height. I walk the size of my height. I have a square in space. Did you see it? Well, it was there, this square. But you mean? So I see this. This is what we are doing.
So I think, so we are clear, you started the mathematization of body movement in relation to space. Huh? So
Exactly.
the body is related to space. Then,
But there, inside this, Peter,
yeah.
there is a expression.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not empty.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's not empty.
But when you look on the body from a perspective of a sculpture, then you will describe the body as a volume. Then the volume is heavy, so it's this kind of gravity. And then maybe you had the tendency to be against gravity and against volume. Maybe you.
If I can.
How do you feel about this?
Well, gravity is a prison.
Okay, exactly. This I wanted to hear.
Yes.
Because this is precisely.
What I want, I say, for example, if I go against the gravity, I do strong.
Yeah.
If I go with gravity, I fall.
Yeah.
So I have to decide what I want.
Yeah.
And then comes this expression.
Yeah.
If you're active or if you are passive to gravity.
I see. The expression comes when you make a rebellion against gravity and against space.
Yes.
This is,
But this is true.
Then comes the expression.
No. And you know what?
Yeah.
As I became older, I have not so much possibilities to go against gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity is smashing me.
Yeah. And then, after the mathematization, what we discussed, you learned your own way of programming.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
No, but I had also an engineer who had, at the beginning I programmed alone.
Yeah, exactly.
But then after there is someone helping me.
Okay.
So, you know why? Because it's not nice to work alone.
Yeah. But I think it's very single achievement to move choreography, which was normally in the notation just recording how people move. Yeah? So you had a notation that other dancers could repeat it. Yeah? But when you shifted from notation, classic notation, to programming, you created a kind of grammar how you can produce motion. Yeah?
Yes.
Otherwise, before, notation was just only how to repeat motion. No? You record it, and then others can repeat it. Yeah? But with your programming system, you suddenly had a vocabulary, a grammar, that you could produce body motions.
And give a structure to people
Exactly.
to create.
Exactly what I mean. It's not just to repeat, to create. This idea.
Yes.
Because normally choreography is just to repeat.
Yes.
You see a dancers, and then you have notations, and then you learn how to repeat it.
Yes.
But you give them a tool to create, to generate their own way. Yeah?
But this is a philosophy.
Yeah.
Because I think that we use the technology for people.
Yeah.
And not the technology uses people.
Yeah.
It's just the opposite.
This is also important because today we have developed an app with help, which is in the field of motion capture.
Yes.
But motion capture is only.
This is motion capture.
Yeah. But what you did is beyond motion capture. I'm happy that
yes,
you have motion capture.
yes, for sure.
Because motion is just also recording and capturing motion, not creating motion. But you have been, when you are ahead of even when you're using motion capture, I think you're ahead of it because you still have this kind of generative grammar. Therefore,
yeah, because you know why? I think that if you just repeat, or if you use the technology without creating, you get depressed. And people now, they talk about depression. And I say, it's because they don't create.
Yeah.
When you create, you are not depressed.
I think when you wrote your wonderful article 1973, The Language of Dance, it's a very perfect title, I think, not understood until today, because what you did is a language is only language when it is a generative grammar, when it has rules. So like in language you have 26 letters, but saying with rules how to create sentences, even infinite words, infinite sentences with the rules of 6
Yes.
sentences.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what you created. Yeah? You created
Oh, thank you.
a
I never
generative grammar.
thought. Yeah, that's
how you
good.
can create infinite sequences of motions.
Yes. Oh, that's nice. Yes.
So you're the first one to give the meaning, the word language a meaning. Because
Yes.
normally in dance, when she, but it was only recording, storing
Yes.
emotions. But now with your paper, it's the first time you created, I would say, instead of classical choreography, a generative grammar, how to produce, how to generate movements for other people. And so it's the first time it was a real language here. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, but it's not related only to dance. It's related to any person who moves.
Yeah.
This is also good
Yeah.
because you don't have to have a trained body.
What is today interesting, and I wanted to know your opinion, the position, that some choreographers go forward away from classic geography, but not in mathematics, more in a kind of anthropology and mythology. They are saying the snake is a primordial body, because this is a line. And then the snake suddenly makes this kind of motions. So they are turning the attention to movements of animals. I think, and then they have this kind of philosophy of primordial motion, etc. What is your opinion?
I could have gone in animation in the beginning.
Yeah.
When I began, many people told me, you want to be rich? Go in animation.
Okay.
I said, I want to be happy.
Okay.
I'm going in dance. I'm not going in animation. Because animation is how say, it's drawing a world that's not the real one. And I am very much real one person. I have to feel in my body. I have to feel in my hands. I am not someone that goes to space. But if I feel, I know where to go. If I don't feel, I don't go. It's something that in technology, I saw many men, especially men, that they gave their lives to ideas that were not linked to life. And at the end, they were empty. I said, no. I want to go in experimentation.
I think what you did...
It's linked to experimentation. I didn't want to go animation in this kind of, especially, Peter, sometimes in dance, they use like the intellectual ideas to give meaning to the movements. But this is a trick, because tragedy, suppose Greek tragedy has nothing to do with dance. If you want to do like Martha Graham did, the Greek tragedies, no, words are better than dance, or an opera. But if you are going to use just the movement, the tragedy is other. It's not the Greek one. It's other tragedy. It's like when you did this, and then you did this. That's the end of a tragedy. It's this.
I understand. But Sarah, my question is, what is in your personality that you did not imitate movements of snakes? You could stand like this and not make horizontal valleys, but you could also make this kind of...
Yeah, I could do, slow.
Why did you
I'm
not
Brazilian.
do it? Why didn't you do it?
It's fake.
Okay.
It's not true.
Exactly. It's a good answer. It's fake.
And I don't want waste time.
You don't want?
Waste time.
Okay, I see. So as you see what I think we can see in the exhibition, you created a generative grammar for movements, but also a geometry of expression, because what you do, it has expressions, but it does not come as a translation from inner states or from imitating animals or whatever.
No.
So it comes from mathematics, so it's a kind of geometry of expression,
Yes.
which related to the motion of body parts in space.
If I stay too much time in a vertical line, I will feel sad.
Okay.
Because it's boring, it's repetitive. So the geometry leads you to a feeling. You see? Suppose if I leave my body completely under the influence of the gravity, I will fall down on the floor and I'm not going to lift up again. This has the meaning in itself. I don't have to tell any story about this.
Did you ever feel, when you started your work, affinity to constructivism, to Mondrian and other people?
Yes, because my father was a concrete artist.
Okay.
And I tell you, I have to be studied by science. You know why?
Okay.
When I was born, 6 months, I was in my crib, lying down. My father put a counter.
Oh.
So I was educated in modern art since my beginning. So it is in my neurological system.
I see.
It's not rational, it's neurological.
And therefore, your sculptures, your recent sculptures are continuing the tradition of concrete and constructivism. Yeah, I see. It's in your DNA.
Yes.
From the beginning.
When I see a Mondrian, I feel emotion.
Okay. So in a certain way, you stay in the tradition of Brazilian constructivism and concrete art, in a certain way.
No, it is. Not certain way, it is.
It is, okay.
Precisely this.
But they stayed in two
My
dimensions.
father, when I had a boyfriend, and my father...
You had a boyfriend, I'm shocked.
Many, but one of them wanted to know my father.
Okay.
And I introduced him to my father.
Okay.
And my father, next day at breakfast, said to me, "You don't distinguish the black from the white."
Okay.
That's it. I said, well, he didn't like my boyfriend.
Okay. I understand, okay. So, but as the constructivist people stayed in 2 dimensions, on paper, on drawing, or 3-dimensional sculpture. You are but you're the only one who works in 4 dimensions.
Because of time.
Yeah, exactly. But you're the only one, no?
Yes, but I mean, my father once said to me, don't worry. Okay. You are a creative person and you have a modern sensibility.
Okay.
I have confidence, self-confidence. So I create what comes out, and I suppose it's always right.
Yeah. So, have you ever been tempted to make a school, to found a school so that you can teach others your knowledge? Did you ever want to become a professor and teacher?
I'm a good professor, but I live in Brazil. Brazil is full of ignorant people.
Okay, so not enough students, huh?
Yeah, children. But they don't care about knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
For them, knowledge has no use.
Exactly. I think this is...
If I move to Germany, it would be different. If I move to California, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, you're completely right. I think this is the tragedy of our time, that nobody is interested in knowledge, even in Europe. But less in Brazil, but even in Europe, it starts that people are interested in...
You know why?
No, I don't know.
Because they think they're gonna die tomorrow.
Okay.
They don't think there is future. No, it's true. Young people, they don't think they have a future.
Okay, this is, we can debate, but for
And
me
knowledge, the knowledge, it's what brings you into the future.
Yeah.
Your mind, when you have knowledge, your mind begins to build.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's a dangerous game.
yeah,
Very dangerous.
yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.